Assalamu alaikum viewers, welcome back. So I'm going to do two drinks today, the one with tamarind and the other one with zobo, which is hibiscus leaves. So I'm going to add a fresh component to the juice, which is apple and cucumber. So I peeled it, and I'm going to use the peel as well. So I go ahead to blend my cucumber and my apple so that it will form a smooth puree. That way it will be easier for me to sieve it and add the juice to the juice. That's the dry juice. So I go ahead. This is me pouring the apple, the chopped apple and the chopped cucumber into the blender, and I blended it as well. It was just a repetition process. I did same for the other one because I want to use one combo for one juice and the other for another one for the other one, so I have a different in taste and flavor. Do you get? So this one I'm using pawpaw and mango. They're very thick fruits. They are not like pineapple or orange. Their acidic content is low, which is why I'm going for it. The other ones, they have more acidity, so I go ahead to blend it to smooth. So both my fresh component for the juices are ready, so I'm going to put it in the fridge for it to chill. So I go back to my cooker and I added my tamarind and my zobo, added all the edibles. I use cinnamon and kanumfari for the samia, that is tamarind. Then I use white pepper and what's the other thing that I use for the zobo, just to have difference in spices as well. The aroma should be different. So this is me after I boiled the zobo. I sieve it out, and I brought my chilled pureed fruits. I added sugar to it. I made sure it is fully dissolved before I sieved to make it smooth and take out the shaft. Then I combine everything together. This is what I did. So this drink, I made it for my children's bring and share day in school, where you bring drinks and snacks basically to the school and you share with your colleagues, like your classmates. So this is the tamarind as well. Tamarind is kind of a thick fruit, so I always like combining it with thicker fruits so that it will have this thick and very nice consistency in the mouth. So I go ahead to package it. I'm using this baby on squeeze that I sell. I'm going to use 40 packs. So in each pack it has 8. So I had to open 5 packs to be able to have 40. The idea is for them to take 20 pouches each. So I had to rinse it first before I start packaging it with the zobo. It was really a tedious process, guys. It took me let's say some hours to have this drink ready, and also package it as well. So alhamdulillah, it wasn't easy, but seeing the end result, I was very happy. So I did this the night before the day so that it will freeze in the freezer and it will be easy for them to carry it to school. So this is me packaging the tamarind as well. So I'll package everything until it's up to 40. The remaining I'll pack it in a bottle container and just put it in the fridge for us to take. So this is me after I finish everything. So I bought this basket which they will be using to take it to school. So I made sure to rinse the pouches just for any juice that has stained it. Then I go ahead to put it on a tray so that the excess water from the pouch can drain prior to putting it in the freezer. So I went ahead to do same for the zobo. As you can see, just watch it and see how everything is being done. Actually, there's nothing much to say. So this is it. So I go ahead to arrange it in the freezer so that they will all block as they freeze. This is everything, alhamdulillah. Then I close my freezer and I continue with the snacks. So for the snacks, I'm making fish pie and cupcakes. So I've already prepped my ingredient. I boiled the fish the previous night with spices, Safmanak spices, and these are the things I'm going to use. Unfortunately for you guys, when I put on the phone to record, I forgot to press play. So I was thinking I was recording only to check and see that I didn't record. So I basically put oil, put some ginger and garlic spices in the oil, then added my pepper mix, that's pepper and onions and green pepper. Then after frying for a bit, I added the mashed fish. I've already deboned everything, so I kept frying it before I added my curry. After adding my curry, I stirred it. Then lastly, I'll add the spring onions just for extra flavor, and freshness. So this is the whole filling for the fish pie. So it didn't take long. In less than 10 to 15 minutes, you'll be done. So I put it in a container and I covered it. So for the cake, these are the ingredients, and I started by pouring my margarine into a container or a bowl. I make sure it's deep because I'm using my hand blender. And I went in with the 1/4 cup of 1/3 cup of sugar. Then I started creaming it, like mixing it until it is fluffy and light. So I broke my eggs and I started adding it as well. And it didn't take me long because hand blender is very, very fast compared to using mixer. So I went ahead to add the egg one by one, making sure I'm mixing it so it will incorporate well. Then I added my nutmeg, my baking powder, and I didn't use flavor for this, Then I mix and mix. At this point, I have to remove the mixer, that's the whisk, and use a spatula because I wouldn't want to continue, because when adding the flour, you have to remove the whisk and use a spatula so that you don't make the cake to go down. So I went ahead to do that as I've mentioned. Then I started mixing my cake, putting my flour and mixing it, and then mixing and mixing and mixing until I get a very good consistency cake. It was so smooth, and I'm glad with the outcome. So fluffy and so just properly mixed. So I was going to use a piping bag. So I went ahead to transfer some part of the batter, then line my cake mold with the cupcake, and then I started dropping the dough, my cake batter into the whole tray. At this point, I'm really tired. It was around after Maghrib, but I said, Kai, let me just conclude this cake before retiring to my day. So this is the cake after baking. I actually wanted it this light, so I didn't allow it to brown so much. So fluffy and nice, and I'm done. Then I proceeded to make the pie dough. So I used 3 cups of flour. I had to sift it, and I added a teaspoon of salt, half pack of margarine, which is 125 gram. I didn't use the whole margarine. I used half of it. Then I made sure I incorporated it into the whole flour before adding a cup of water. Guys, I only use 1 cup of water for this, and you shouldn't mix it like you're mixing chin-chin. You're supposed to use the tips of your hand to bring it together so that it doesn't over mix. Make sure the water is cold as well. Make sure you put the margarine in the fridge before you use it to mix the dough. It makes it very, very crunchy, soft on the inside and crunchy on the outside, and crispy as well. So this is me. After putting the dough in the fridge for 30 minutes, I brought it out and started to spread it so that I can divide it into different, portion and put my what do you call it, sauce inside. So when I put my sauce inside, I will just cut it, because I'm really tired. I was really tired at that time. I didn't even want to use any meat pie cutter or any what do you call it, self? I wanted to do it freestyle, so I used my hand, just putting my egg as a sealer. I didn't use flour. Then I put it, brush the whole thing with egg wash, pop in the oven, and this is it. I do it like 3 times, I think, or is it 2 times? And my fish pie was ready. It was so good, guys. I don't know, one will still be tired and things will turn out good. Alhamdulillah. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Have a lovely evening. Bye.